Hey everybody, Spartan here from SpartanTrading.com. Wanted to hit you guys with a trade review today. I'm actually going to be going through just one review today. LK, actually if you guys are probably trading today, you saw it, the fraud report come out this morning. You probably took it short, I'm assuming. If you didn't, well, this may be a little bit educational for you. Pretty obvious stuff here, very logical, etc. Basically, fraud report came out on LK. It was during our pre-market action plan. I'm PSD, so it was at like 5 in the morning. I can't remember the exact time. Or 5:30 or something like that. Anyways, I was doing the charting and stuff, and someone said, hey, LK fraud report. I also saw it on the Newswire. So, brought up the chart. Fraud on a stock, guys, especially a Chinese company, where there's no accounting standards on the company, very, very likely to be true. And it was confirmed that I can't remember, someone on the board, as well as other people that were that have allegations against them, there was confirmed 300 million basically that was falsified in terms of revenue. Company has no sales, basically they're negative 500 million a year anyways. A company like this, China company, it seemed to be being held up, by the way, as the market pulled back. Everything pulled back. This name seemed to be holding up. One of the big reasons I had so much conviction to the downside on this trade was because of that. I figured there was someone with a large position in the stock. It had a lower float. When that person liquidates, it's going a lot lower than what you think. So one thing that I said right away is, okay, the stock has room to $5.80 if I think it was 1377 breaks, and I got that level by doing a Fibonacci extension to the downside. So let's kind of just go over the entire thought process. So news came out, immediately started taking the stock short. Whoops. Sorry guys, I'm going to flip back to that chart. I have this in front of my other main charts here. So anyways, basically, news came out, started taking it short, 21 area, 2045, 2047. Fraud reports, guys, are names that you can add heavy into because they tend to be falling knives. You don't know when that falling knife is going to bounce, but you want to basically be heavily short into it and then be scaling out frequently as it breaks down through support levels. One thing that you can keep in the back of your head is as this stock breaks down through support levels, it's not going to stop at the first support or the next support. It's probably going to go through multiple levels, and then it's going to go through levels until it gets an extension to the downside. This is a fraud report. Everyone's going to be hitting it on the short side, as well as anyone that's in there on a long, has a longer hold on it, or is just holding the stock long, is going to want out of that position. Especially, if you're institutional, you do not want to be holding that type of trade because obviously, fraud, it could potentially be worthless or, go quite a bit lower towards, cash per share is, etc. So anyways, stock started to break down. 2121, 2045, 2047 added into it heavy short, started to cover some into the 20 level. As that broke, I was just looking at the next support levels on the daily as well as watching the L2. So these are the support levels that I had labeled out. So we had some support at the 1340 level. I actually tweeted, okay, now it's going to run to 1340. Broke that level. It had room then towards the 979. After that broke, 791, and then the 520 level, which was my pivot point to the downside, or not pivot point, my Fibonacci extension level on the downside. I'll show you how I got that in a second. So as it broke down, basically was covering into these areas here. So 20s covered into the 1467, 1434, 1397, 1399, 1326, 10s, 968, 875, 852, and this is where I covered all of the position, and then I went long. So 565, 565, etc., etc. It was really extended to the downside. So I told everyone in the chat room, let's take it off and let's put on a long, smaller size because I think it's too extended to the downside. I have basically some technicals that I use to figure out when a stock's extended some rules that I created. Figured it was extended. I took smaller size on the extension. And then as it popped up in the morning, sold some into it, added again into the little bit of a pullback, 651, and then I sold some more on the pop to 872. I actually missed this first little halt into the $10 spot. If you guys are in the chat room, I'm sure, or if you guys can even imagine, I got a whole bunch of different stuff going on in the morning. I'm running multiple trades on multiple charts, options, equity, as well as trying to manage these positions. When something is halted and then comes off an unhalt, I can't just stare at it until it unhalts, unfortunately. But anyways, so that's what we did there. We took some more long and then sold some here, sold the rest of it at the 872 level. And then midday, I ended up taking some short at 709. And then it's basically sold off to the, all the way down towards 640, 614. So, one more point to the downside. And then that was out of the trade. So all in all, I mean, this is probably a 15, 16, I don't know, maybe 20 points in total on the stock. The biggest trade obviously was in the morning because I went heavy on it. And then I was just looking for a bounce on these types of trades. So fraud, guys, basically what we want to be doing is going heavy into those types of positions. It's going to be a falling knife, scale out frequently. It's the pre-market, so you couldn't really have stops. If I could have stops, I would have a trailing stop of probably 3 or 4 points. As it sells off, if you think it's getting too extended to a point, you need to have some indicator to tell you if it's extended like that. Exit the rest of the position. Only take it long if you have a lot of experience on extensions. Otherwise, do not touch it. Do not try to catch a falling knife. Extremely hard. If I was wrong on that add at 440 or that buy at 440, I would have just sold it down a point. That's what I said. I said I'm risking 1 point 440 long, and then basically was just trying to play it for a little bit of a bounce. Did I need to do that? No, probably not. It was a little bit risky. I can definitely say that. So overall, it's a pretty simple play. Fraud report comes out. Don't hesitate to take those things short, especially if it's during market hours. You can take it short and put it a stop in. Give it a little bit of room as it works. Scale into it heavy. Don't wait too long to scale in, and then scale out frequently as it sells off. Pretty simple. In regards to the support levels, guys, make sure that you're obviously using the daily, etc., etc. Let's take a look at the monthly here. No, the weekly doesn't matter. Anyways, I did Fibonacci extension from the previous range, working range that was within, and that's how I got that $5 level. Simply that, and then you can see how it bounced off of that general area. So anywho, that's LK. I wanted to go over that trade with you guys. I thought it was an interesting trade. Big one for us in the room, as well as I'm sure a lot of people participated in it today. But yeah, solid trade, and there you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.